impact on your players, do you think?
Well, let's hope so, right? Hey, it's hot. You all feel it too. We're all out here. Welcome to Troy and welcome to the South, and we all expected it and know where we're at, and that's what we train for. But doesn't mean there is anxieties at practice one. They carry stuff. They don't sleep near as good. I didn't sleep near as good last night. In anticipation, and what that brings is a little bit of added stress, and you throw on a helmet before you know it, we're out here trying to fight to get through this. So it's a good reminder to all of us, and what better day to do it on in practice one. So our guys will be a whole lot more urgent about how they recover and restore their bodies to be ready for practice too. So we'll get there.
I don't know if you grade your practices, but overall impressions of just day one fall camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good question actually. I would say we're actually C+ at best, right? We just, for us to be able to get where we want to go and to have the mental and physical endurance to get through a practice and games that are coming, it'd be fair to say that we're there. So certainly not our standard, but I think we all understand why, and we'll get that grade moving up as we go.
A lot of production to replace in the wide receiver room. Obviously, Barber transferring, a few other people moving on. Ross coming back is good. I think Gerad has solidified himself as a good fill in there. But who else do you see kind of coming along, and how's that room as a whole?
Yeah, I think that you're spot on. I mean, there's a lot of production to replace everywhere. Ross certainly leads that coming out of spring and summer season. Gerad Beeson, Landon Parker, P. Higgs, new addition in Roman, Mothershed. There's a couple other guys there that we believe can add value to us, and will. A couple of the new freshmen that have come in are certainly already starting to turn heads. We've got a long way to go before we know who those will be, but there's certainly some guys that names are already known and some that are not known that are going to add some value for us.
Do you have any idea when you will name a starting quarterback?
Yeah, our plan right now is to get through these first 8 practices on our four-day sets, and in my mind, and we've had several discussions as a staff, if it's earned and done the right way, we certainly want to announce that the first day of school.
Your secondary, a lot of guys to replace. Who stands out to you right now on that secondary?
Well, I just think for us right now in leadership roles that at corner, Damaj Yancey and LJ have both taken huge strides, and they've earned the right through the off seasons and spring seasons they've had. So we feel really good with those two as leaders. On the outside pieces of it, safeties are still a work in progress, but we made a step with Cecil Powell, Ian Goodley, Justin Pope. There's a bunch of names there we think can add value in different ways for us at safety and nickel, and we're excited to see that develop over the next 7-8 practices.
You talked about the quarterbacks, but just kind of talk about how you saw them perform today, individually.
Yeah, I think top to bottom you saw Goose really just taking a step in his leadership role, and have certainly honoring the first performance standard we have as a football program, which is the ball. He took care of the ball really well today and made good decisions. We shortened our fields in practice one to save legs the best we could in the heat, and he did a nice job there. I think Tuck and Caldwell both took steps and looked way better than where they were as they've taken steps through the summer. And of course, McCreary is young and learning how, but he's already getting reps and starting to show some progress in our routes on air and group periods.
Gus said this was Ethan's first time really being back. I mean, how good was that to see him play?
Oh, it's wonderful. He's an interesting threat and a guy that's going to be able to be used in several different ways in run and pass phase. He's really going to have a great year, and we expect big things from him.
You mentioned the bucket test. Do we want to know what that is?
I'm
the
sorry?
Bucket test?
I did?
Yeah, it's in the huddle. You guys said they failed the bucket test?
I don't know what I said.
Okay.
It's hard to tell
Never mind.
now.
Okay,
I blacked out.
Heat of the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
Can you just kind of give us a rundown of how your fall camp is going to go? Meaning, week by week, do you have an end goal? How does it work for you for your fall camp?
Me and Adam and I spoke about this going into this. First off, I think it's all in segments. So we'll have 4 straight practice days, one always ending in a night practice under the lights, which does 2 things. One, it gives us some well-needed rest and sleep in. 2, it gets us used for waiting a whole day to play or practice, because we have, I think, 7 night games scheduled right now. So we've got to get used to that. So 2 areas of 4 play segments. We'll get an off day on day 5 and then go do 4 practice segment days again. And it'll be set up that way. And then, of course, it'll follow by script. We'll go situational football here in the middle phase, which will be red zones more so, and then third downs. And then we'll hit our 2-minute phase as well. And then the last one is really to culminate all of it so we can be ready for a full scrimmage.
What's your goal by the end of this summer training?
Well, honestly, this is a real answer. I hope you all be able to tell me by the end of the year, too. Our whole goal is to make sure that we have really put these practices, and our players have put in place our 3 performance standards, which are how we take away the ball and how we keep it. Number 2 is how we sustain and defeat blocks. We've got to be able to keep blocks and get off of them. if we're on defense, and third, we got to be able to play really hard and physical. So that's our goals. We got to meet those 3 standards of our performance, and that'll be the goal moving forward.
Looked like Eli was working through something. Do you have any update on him? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. I think I think it would be fair. I think everybody was working through something today.
I think there was no question this team ran through Kamani Vidal last year. Not a bona fide runaway at the running back position right now. How do you see that group stacking up and how they perform today?
Yeah, I would say that that is to be determined. You know, we got a long way to go before we get there, and that is not something that's solidified yet. So it'll be fun to see where they go from here.
As you come to this new head coach position, you're also adding 57 new players onto the roster that weren't here last year. How has that team dynamic been, not just through spring and summer, but going into fall camp as well?
Well, I still feel like we have a winning culture here that's a testament to all the past players and coaches of the core that was left. Certainly it wasn't many, but there's enough there that feels this place and knows we have a winning culture. So that's the first place you start. There's a standard of excellence here in how they work and prepare. So you feel that, and I think those guys that have come in, although it's a very high number, they've also felt what Troy is and have developed the same work ethics, and that's what we'll hope we keep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you all.